Hello, participants. Hello. Am I audible to everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you in today's session. Today, we have gathered here to organize and to for the webinar on the My Story Motivational Session by Successful Innovator. And as a speaker, we have Ms. Abhrila Dash with us. So before we start our session, I would like to call upon our respected principal ma'am to deliver a speech on today's program. Ma'am, the session is yours now.
Hello.
Yes,
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Shwetapan. A very good evening to all the distinguished guests, my dear students, and my dear colleague. Actually, today we have gathered here to listen a story of a successful innovator. My dear students, usually what our parents do from our childhood, they help us or they tell us story of great hero or moral story, a story related to values and ethics. Our childhood syllabus also contain all these moral stories, lives of great heroes of India or throughout the world. Why it is? So that we should not follow. It is not that by listening all those story or by reading all those story, we will follow, we will copy their life. It's not that. We will develop a value in our life so that we will have moral ethics and all those. Now, at present, what we have understood that technology transfer is not the or transferring technology from first world country is not the key of success of India. We have a dream of making India. So we have a thrust on innovation, on entrepreneurship, on idea development. So the budding engineers, that is my beloved students, you have to have some path or you have to have some idea so that you can follow them. You can build your innovation, you can build your idea and turn it to innovation. And by that, you can be a successful entrepreneur. So we are following that trend. So today in this virtual platform, we have Ms. Afronila Dash as a successful innovator who has got award as a successful innovator. I heartily welcome Madam Afronila Dash in this virtual platform and eager to learn his journey, her journey for to be this innovator. I hope that, and I'm confident that this session will be an engaging and enriching one. Thank you all. I thank ma'am for sharing her valuable time with us. Over to Shandipan.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your inspiring speech. So we have Ms. Abhrila Dash with us. Before ma'am start her speech, let me give a brief introduction about Abhrila ma'am. Abhrila ma'am is an electronics engineer. She has completed her MTech from IIC Shibpur with a specialization in instruments. She is presently working as a researcher at TCS Lab Research Innovation. She has published journal papers, conference papers, copyrights, and patents. She has recently won the prestigious Srishti Giti Award by Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India. Apart from being an innovative engineer, she is a published author. Her stories have been published in newspapers, e-magazines, and by scholars. Her fun, loving nature is illustrated by her witty comics appearing regularly on her website and social media pages. So, ma'am, I welcome you all. I welcome you and thank you for being here. The session is now. Is yours. And I also request all the participants to mute yourself so that ma'am can carry this session without any interruption. Ma'am, the session is yours.
Yeah, so I'll wait for everyone to mute themselves. And meanwhile, please confirm that you can hear me. One of the most commonest phrases that you will be hearing is, "Can you hear me? And can you see the screen?" Hello? Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, you're pretty much audible.
Yeah, okay. Now that is one of the most commonest things that people say every day, regularly. Am I audible? Can you see the screen? So I'll be sharing the screen right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So can
Ma'am,
you share my screen? Or,
yes, ma'am. Let me make you co-host.
Okay, okay. So I'll first start by thanking the principal ma'am, Muhua ma'am, and then sir, Sandeepan sir, and Amrita ma'am for calling me here. And I hope everyone will enjoy. And I'm looking forward to questions today.
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. Yeah. So, ma'am, I have made you the co-host, so you can share your screen, ma'am.
Okay, okay. And also, I feel something really strange. I feel that with great power comes great responsibility. So today I have a responsibility and I have that power. I have that power of making change. And at the same time, I have the responsibility to make sure that change is very positive and we move forward. I am sharing the screen. I hope you can see. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
It started, ma'am. It started. Yes, your screen is visible.
It's visible, right? Thank you. And as usual, technical glitches will be happening. Give me a minute and I'll start this slide. So, innovation, the untold story. Obviously, everyone has an untold story. And I'll be starting ahead. So who am I? Who am I? I am Batman, Spider-Man? No, I'm Obronila. I'm an electronics engineer, maybe an unsung superhero. I completed my MTech from IIC Shikpur. I presently work as a researcher at TCS Research and Innovation Lab, just like Sir had said. And I will give you a very secret tip about our office campus. They have great momos. And also, I love my city. I have been living here ever since birth. And I recently won the Srishti GYTI Award for 2022. And this is GYTI is full form for Gandhian Young Technological Innovation, and hence the title for today. My innovation is a portable potentiostat. What is a potentiostat? A potentiostat is basically something like a glucometer but not really a glucometer. It can do things more than that. You can use, take a pinch of your blood, even less than a pinch, just like a grain of a salt, and then it can tell you whether you have any sort of disease or not, and a huge lot of things. I think my main audience today is civil engineers right now. So I believe that they won't be very much interested in looking into the electronics aspect of the potential stat, showing up big circuits and all that. They had enough of this in first year, right? I would like a agreement, disagreement, something. I can see people right now. So in this virtual medium, I need some kind of response. Can I see this chat or anything? Where is everyone replying? Can they speak out, or how is that going to happen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So is it an agreement that you had enough of electronics in first year, electrical engineering, those circuits and all? Okay. If you don't reply, I'll presume that you want to know about the PCBs and all that. So I'll start with the PCBs. That's a big threat right now. So anyway, I'll presume that you are not so much interested into PCBs. And I'll talk about innovation and success. So I'll tell you a truth, honest truth. That is, I did not realize that I was successful until I saw today's title, a successful innovator. I knew I was an innovator, but I never knew that I was successful, because I have much longer to go, much more things to innovate, much more things to do. It's never really done. So I'll talk with the definition for innovation. Innovation basically means creating something new. Emphasis, big emphasis on new. Examples of innovation. I'm wearing glasses. You are seeing me through Zoom. You're seeing me using a mobile phone, using internet, video call. All these are parts of innovation. Someone has created a water bottle, anything.
Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah.
I request host to please record the program. Shondipanta, please record the program.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Please continue.
Yeah, sure. So, and next is success. What is success exactly? It is however you define it. Here, big emphasis on you. Just like for innovation, we had emphasis on new. Now we have emphasis on you. Examples of success, it could be owning an Audi. It could be building a very difficult bridge, very place and a very significant bridge that connects the line of control with the mainland India. That could be a very big thing. Or maybe sleeping 22 hours for one whole week. That could be an example of success. It's just as how you define it. So there is a very famous saying. I don't know how many people here are Harry Potter fans. It goes like this. It is our choices that show who and what we truly are, far more than our abilities. So today you get a choice. Today your choice is to stick with me and follow the hard path of innovation. And you always have the choice to quit anytime you want. And life is what you define it. I'll presume that you take the hard path. You are very enthusiastic. So I need a show of hands or anything. Okay, I see a hand. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I also see another hand. Thank you. So we are interacting despite all this difficulties to Zoom and all that. That's a big, high, big thing. Put your colors up and all that. It's a big thing. So I'll start with what is intellectual property. Intellectual property is creation of mind. Its examples could be innovations, a pencil. I have pencil, pen right now. It can be books. I think I have books. It can be books. It can be artistic works, drawing, design, symbol, names, images, and that is why you see watermarks in most images that you try to download from the internet. Those are all intellectual properties. Why intellectual property is important? So one day you invent something, you show it to your friend, and that friend shows it to someone else, and that someone else now broadcast it as their own invention, and they sell it and get a big amount of money, big money. At the end of the day, everything is about money, right? So that is why you need to have a secure a lock. The first thing that you do when you get a phone, new phone, you secure a password, you keep it safe. You don't just keep passwordless phone nowadays. Nowadays, people have more complicated password than probably the CIA, CID people. Normal people have more difficult passwords right now. So some complicated patterns and all that. So that is why patent, copyright, trademark, all these are important. So I'm not sure whether you can actually see okay, I figured it out. So I've labeled the 4 major horizons of IP. IP is intellectual property. First is patent. Patent is any tangible invention, anything that you can touch, feel, a physical device like a mobile phone. Yes, that could be patented. A copyright is non-tangible invention, something like a software program, architecture, stories, movies, those are copyrighted. Trademark. This trademark is an identity of a company. So you must have seen a standard way of HP writing H. That is the trademark. You will see a small TM written just above the logo. That is shows that their identity has been identified and certified by the government, and that is why they got that trademark number, that TM, small TM written there. Next is papers. Papers is published invention. So the main difference between papers and the 3 above, the patent, copyright, and trademark, is that papers is published and anyone can use it. So the main objective for patent, copyright, and trademark is to hide your secret. It's like as if you tell someone that you know how to make a red pen. Suppose a red pen, you know how to make a red pen. And you say that if you want a red pen, you only have to come to me or take the idea from me. I won't disclose the secret recipe of making this pen to anyone else. Whereas in papers, you actually tell that, yes, I have made this red pen. I will tell you all the secrets, all steps of the whole recipe of making this red pen. But you need to give me reference, or you need to cite my contribution whenever you do something. So all these patents, copyright, and trademark, those are done from the you go to the government, you tell them that yes, I have invented this. They will do an extensive search whether you are actually copying an invention or you have actually invented this. Then after you successfully understand that, okay, someone is at Howrah. That's where my college is. So nostalgic. I'll hope you'll be able to find the mute button soon enough. Yeah, whoever it is, he found the mute button. Thank you. So, yes, a patent, therefore, will be telling you that, yes, I have a secret recipe and I won't share that recipe, but I'll let you use it if you give me some royalty money. So for patent, when you apply for a patent, the government will do an extensive search and check whether you have actually copied or not. If you have not copied, it's a novel innovation, a big thing, then only they will grant you a patent and they'll give you a patent number. That number can be then used. So a very famous patent, I think it was back 2-3 years ago, was Samsung patenting a foldable screen. That time Samsung hadn't released this new foldable screen mobile phone. So before even releasing that, they wanted to capture the market and secure their technology so that no one else copies from them. That's why they published their patent much before they actually launched the model. So now we'll move on to the next part. What do you face when you try to innovate? The main thing that you will be facing is problems. And how to deal with these problems? First is to identify the problem. And next, invent a way to solve it. So you must have heard about something called modern problems require modern solutions. So that's how we are going to proceed. Now I'll be telling you about the problems that you have solved already. How to get 75% attendance without attending class. How to manage udhari from Chai Ki Tapli. How to get notes one night before exam. And how to buy WBT organizer at lowest price. I think all of you have solved these problems very nicely. You are engineers, and engineers are problem solvers by genetic design. So if you can solve these types of problems, you can solve all other technological problems as well. The main thing that's stopping you is your attitude. So I'll be telling you about a special mechanism of understanding about a problem, about a situation, and planning. Planning is important. It's not just writing out and drawing the building plans. You know why a building plan is important before even starting to build a building. So that's why we are going to start with a plan first and then move on to the building part. I think many of you might have heard about this SWOT analysis. I'll again go through it. So SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. These four things are of two different groups. One is internal and another is external. So things that are internal to us, like my own strength, my own weakness. So these points are internal. I think a very lovely music is assisting us. Okay. So next is we have opportunity and threat. Opportunity and threat, these are external events. These things we cannot really control unless we look into it through a different type of lenses or different type of glasses. This is mainly devised for a strategic planning. Many famous companies, organizations, they do this, and we'll also learn how to do this today. I'll show you a very famous SWOT analysis. Everyone must know this organization. They must have had this drink by Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola did an analysis and they have labeled their strength, weakness, threat, and opportunity. Their strength, as they define, are they have a variety of products and 43% market share. That is almost close to 50%, a very big monopoly there. A powerful brand recognition. They have a unique identity color. the red color and white Coca-Cola written on it. And secret recipes, of course, they have their trademark secret recipes. Their weaknesses are to keep up with the health industry. You must remember about CR7, Ronaldo's aqua mission. He says about water, and then the Coca-Cola price drops. And yes, that's the difficulty to keep up with the health industry. Next is unable to find a better substitute for sugar. The essential part of a cold is sugar, carbohydrate. Next is difficulty to change current positioning and customer attitude towards the company. The customer recognizes Coca-Cola. Now, suddenly, if Coca-Cola says that let's launch a new brand of shoes, no one is going to buy because they know Coca-Cola as a soft drink industry, not as a shoe industry. Next, I'll move into the threats. Companies that are offering healthy alternatives to Coca-Cola and other soft drinks. There are other competitors as well. They are having this health weakness on their side as a strength. Next is negative press and media coverage can harm them. As I actually told about Ronaldo's thing, you must remember that there was some cold drinks bottle sitting just beside him, and then he shifts that, and that drops the market price of soft drink company by thousands within seconds. That so yes, negative press and media coverage. Now I'll ask you to look into the opportunities. The opportunities are the company can increase the market share if they listen and adapt to current trends. So actually, this is a very similar to the second point in threat. If you look into in another way of the threat, they are saying that negative press and media coverage. Here they are saying that market share will increase if they follow health trends. So their weakness and this company is offering healthy. These points are very intelligent. It's just that if they can overcome that, that will become their opportunities instead of being threat and weakness. Next is relatively low actual competitors in the market. In threat, they directly label that there are companies that offer healthy alternatives. Now they're saying there are less competitors. So it's the attitude change that happened here. They are seeing their threats as an opportunity right now. So the main analysis and the main objective of SWOT is that we move the weakness towards the strength and threats towards the opportunities. So the next thing that we will be looking into is, wait a minute, is Ishikawa diagram. This is created by Karo Ishikawa. He's a Japanese, and it's also called fishbone diagram. Why it's called fishbone diagram, you will find it very soon. It's called causal diagram because it actually identifies the cause of an event. There was once a massive failure in some space project, and they couldn't identify why the reason of that massive failure despite doing everything right. So they used Ishikawa diagram and found out that only one bolt of one small tiny part had not been stuck nicely. It was a little bit loose, and that had caused that massive level of failure. So the main objective of Ishikawa diagram, you see the result and you map back to it. This is famous to be used in product design, quality defect prevention, and to identify potential factors. So it has two different parts. It shows primary and secondary cause and effect and relates the whole equation to it. I'll show you the diagram. So this is an Ishikawa diagram, and the fish head represents the problem or the effect, and the cause are grouped into 6 different categories. You can add even more categories if you need. Causes include materials, methods, manpower or people, measurements, environmental factors, machine equipment. And these arrows, as you see, I think you can see the cursor. So this one is a primary cause, and then adjacent to it is a secondary cause. So materials includes that suppose you get a very defectful raw material. For example, we'll go through the Coca-Cola example itself. Suppose the Coca-Cola do not get enough water, clean water. So they cannot function. They cannot create their cold drinks at all. Next is if they don't have that perfect design of bottling, all the air will go out and it's useless. Next, you need skilled people to operate that kind of machine. Next, this machines and equipment comes in addition to the accessory equipments, the physical bottle and all that. Also, there are accessories things on how to store that, a good refrigerator. And here comes the environment factor. Suppose if it is a very cold day, the sale of cold drinks will be very less. And if it is a hot day, it will go up. And then again, the measurements, these measurements include that suppose for every 1 liter of bottle, you have a particular size of bottle. The bottle should not be bigger than 1 liter, or should not be less than 1 liter. If it is less, then it will cause a spillover. And if it is too big, then customers will think that, oh no, it's not filled properly. So all this these are very crude examples that today I'm talking about. And actually I will tell about how I personally used all these tools, personality development tools and tools of innovation, tools of understanding a problem, understanding a situation to my own project. So what are the problems did I face? So there was a big Bluetooth communication trouble going on. I remember that. Then there was some continuous unknown error. No matter what we did, a very strange kind of digits used to come. So we could not identify why. And then after solving all these problems, before the submission, 3 to 4 days before submission, there was a sudden massive failure and the whole thing could not operate at all. And then, of course, we had COVID-19 as a problem. Not exactly COVID-19. Fortunately, me and all my lab mates, we did not get infected by COVID-19 then, but we faced the restrictions, and so we were restricted. We could not go to the lab, and I had to set up another set of instrument at my home. We did work from my home, and I had to report to my professor at her house. And then again, if I requested for any instrument, those instruments could not be delivered because I was in a lockdown zone and no delivery person can enter. All the shops were closed, and so that was also a big problem that we faced. So what did I do? I used SWOT and Ishikawa diagram. So this was my SWOT analysis. My only strength here is electronics knowledge, and a big weakness is I did not have much practical experience then. And many unknown failures, like I told you, some diseases were coming. And threat was, of course, deadline, less time. You remember, engineers only work the night before exams. So yes, then I told about the COVID-19 restrictions and no instruments. Actually, here something happened. The COVID-19 restrictions prompted us to think in a different way. Actually, this less time, we Reversed is to okay. Do anyone want to ask anything? Please go ahead if you want to ask. Okay, I'll take this as a no. And anyway, everyone will get a chance to ask questions after the whole presentation thing. That time, like with all the COVID-19 restrictions, one thing came up was work from home. With work from home, I had flexible working hours, so I can work up late at night and wake up very late in the morning. But yes, that ensured flexible working hours, and that less time I could convert into a big amount of time. I can eat and work. I can actually work by on the floor on my home. Next, for the COVID-19 restriction, we faced a remote problem. We cannot access people. Everything was far away. That's when we decided to have a very special feature incorporated into the instrument itself. That's a remote access feature. With this feature, suppose someone has this, our instrument. Our instrument is about a size of about a size of this remote control. So it's a very small thing. And whoever has this and they go to we call it point of care. Point of care because in a far away place. So wherever a person is sick, you need to go there and give that person care. So that is the point of care. And from that sick person itself, we can collect the blood sample and then they can use this machine and I can actually transfer it to wherever I want and also control the machine from my end. Suppose this instrument, it had traveled there and whoever is using them, they don't know how to use it. All they have to do is turn on the machine and I will be controlling, or whoever knows that will be controlling from another end. So that's when we added this remote feature. So we successfully converted our threat into an opportunity. Next, to struggling with all our problems of having very low experience, unknown failures, we converted that to a very invaluable resource, that is experience. And through that experience, we learned failure prediction. So now we know what to do and what not to do. We now know where a failure can happen and how to manage that. So we have learned failure prediction from our own weeks. So as the same Ishikawa diagram, and I think you remember, I'll tell you there is something called a breadboard and a PCB. And a breadboard is where you directly put in the instruments, you don't solder it. And in a PCB, you have to solder it. So we were initially using a breadboard instead of a PCB. And also, after using the PCB, there were some errors. So we found out the cause to be soldering inaccuracy. And that had led to the Bluetooth and all the unknown connection errors. So that's one line example of how I use Ishikawa diagram. There are more examples, but I didn't want to go very technical. One of the most important things of being an innovator is to see holistically, a 360 view of all your problems. Normally in question paper, you have one subject and that one subject have direct questions, solve this, solve that. But in real life issues, these involve all subjects together, mechanics, fluid dynamics, material science, inorganic chemistry, just to name a few. So I'll give you an example of very useful thing that most people use. Everyone has seen them. It's called a safety pin. You have seen a pin is normally a straight line, a straight metal, but someone has thought, because that pin actually pokes you. So someone has thought, let us make a pin that will do the job of pin, that is tie two objects together. At the same time, it won't hurt or poke a person. So we'll make a big, interesting cover on top of it. And that cover will be very easily opened and closed. So that's a very famous patent and very innovative thing. I think everyone must have heard about Steve Jobs. And there's a famous video about Steve Jobs about having dots that are connected. Everyone has internet these days. You can go to YouTube and watch that. I'll give a brief of that. So Steve Jobs was actually into different kind of subjects, and he's a college dropout. So before he dropped out of college, he was opting for a calligraphy classes just because he liked calligraphy. Then after a few days, like he had dropped off from college and he had progressed in life, and he had invented the MacBook and all everything. Then came a time that they were designing the first software for doc. Now Windows have actually basically copied from them. So while they were designing the document thing, that's when Steve Jobs used his calligraphy skills to design different kinds of fonts to do. So in this slide you see two different fonts, and had he not gone to that calligraphy class just as an entertainment, you would not have got so much different fonts today. So that's how something totally irrelevant from engineering, calligraphy, can actually relate to something really great. And do check out that YouTube video. It's very nice. Next are some really big tips. Everyone gives you tips, so I'll also give some. First is, you need to commit and believe on yourself. Oh, okay. My slides are not listening to me currently. Okay. I can see the slide. Everything is together. So first thing you need is to commit to yourself. You need to talk to yourself and say that, yes, I'm going to do this. And keep very small achievable targets. Very small. And this is a very important thing. Congratulate yourself on reaching each target. Congratulate in any way that you want. But don't overdo it, obviously. But you must congratulate yourself. You pat your back, pat yourself, and yes, you have achieved something that you had planned. That's a big thing. Next is love yourself. You must love yourself. You must know yourself. If you don't know yourself, how can you know a problem? How can you love a problem and solve a situation? So love yourself. Have fun in the progress. Like, enjoy this process of growing into a tree, and where all your fruits of innovation will be taken up by someone else. Next is the most important thing. So you must have seen in movies that some places that you fast forward, that people, the hero, he fails on achieving something, then he works hard, and then he achieves something. So this work hard part is the very boring part, and everyone fast forwards that part. But that is the most important thing, and that's the main thing that lost the line between a normal and extraordinary person. That's hard work. And most people are scared of this. There's a very nice saying of Coleman Cox. He is an American writer. So he says that I believe in luck. The harder I work, the luckier I get. So it's not about actually having luck. It's about working hard and persistence. So you need to stick to your goals, and you need to say that, yes, I'm going to do that, and just stick to it. Think nothing else. Persistence if you really want to achieve your goals. Now this is an open question. What are the 7 wonders of the world? Now I want some real nice answer. Everyone had been listening. Some people have probably dozed off. So now some answers. What are the 7 wonders of the world? GK question. Anyone? Is Sandeepan sir here? So maybe he
Yes,
can.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So maybe.
So may I answer?
Okay, sir wants to answer. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
let me try. Now the one is that's our very famous Taj Mahal.
Yes, yes, we got the famous Taj Mahal. Our next
Yes,
someone.
and then the great the Chinese wall, the Great Chinese Wall,
Yeah, Great Wall
which
of
is the
China.
only one or the only one object that can be seen from the space as well.
Yes, that's very amazing to
Mm.
think like that. Yeah. And
Participants, please answer. I have made 2 answers.
yes, someone else.
Please answer.
I can work with if not 7, I can work with 3 or 4 also.
So one answer we have got, that is Statue of Liberty.
Okay, Statue of Liberty, that is also very famous. I think everyone knows this story. Statue of Liberty was
Eiffel Tower. Eiffel Tower.
okay, Eiffel Tower. Yes, we got 4 answers. That's really great. So I'll progress
The
with.
Hanging Garden of Babylon.
Oh, okay, Babylon's Garden. Yeah, that's all very famous. So everyone is answering. That's nice. Now everyone got to answer. And yes, those are the significant 7.
Someone answered something from Sydney. I think that is the Opera House.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. So I will actually tell you something. Yes, these are very famous wonders of the world. Yes, 7 wonders of the world. And I like to think something different. These are the 7 wonders of the world that I feel should be told about. To see, to feel, to hear, to walk, to sing, to smile, and to be alive. The life is a very precious thing. Your life is one of the most precious thing in your life, and you should make it count. So I think this is it's really amazing to feel that in a wide, big world, we got the lucky opportunity to see the world, to touch and feel the world, to hear lovely music, to walk on gardens, on traffic stuck road, but yes, to walk, the ability to walk, that's very common and yet very lucky thing to have. To sing, to smile. Everyone loves smiling. That's one of the favorite expression of a man. And to be alive, that's the most important thing. So you must celebrate being alive and make yourself count. So these are some of autobiographies that I really like. Wings of Fire, that's about our former president, APJ Abdul Kalam. Next is Made in Japan. This is about Akio Morita. He is the founder of Sony Electronics. And surely you're joking, Mr. Feynman. Richard, this is about Richard Feynman. He is one of my favorite scientists. He got the Nobel Prize for the Feynman diagram. He had worked in atomic chemistry. So he had worked in the Manhattan Project while making the atomic bomb and all that. So you should start by actually Google searching all this. And I'll tell you about what is common in all these autobiographies. In any kind of autobiography that you pick up, anything, that is the most important thing, failure. Everyone faces failure, and that's when you actually get to know that you are working to something that actually matters, that is significant, and that will make a change. Next, we have most important thing that I have been talking, hard work, perseverance, dedication. You also must have heard no pain, no gain. How pain doesn't mean like physical pain, obviously. It also includes losing out of from going to parties and all that, and instead contributing those time to something that you are really involved into to get the result that you really want. Next is sincerity, and of course, to have faith in yourself and your idea. First of all, you must believe on your own idea, and then only you can convince other people. So when you are convinced with your idea, you know that this idea is right, this is the best way to solve a problem, then you work on it. There might be a large number of people who won't support your idea. We know, I think everyone knows about the philosophy that originally Earth was flat and everyone believed that. And then came one person and he said that no, Earth is not flat, and the story behind it. So if you don't know, again, you work on it and Google search. I won't tell you this. So yeah. And with that, I come to the end of the presentation. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for answering. I got a very good response from everyone. And the question time. That's the most interesting time right now.
Participant, do you have any queries? If you have, please feel free to ask Ms. Abhina Das. Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes,
if you
yes,
permit
sure.
me.
Yes,
So
please,
actually,
sir, you are on mute. Yes, sir.
am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, 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 definitely.
So actually, as you have mentioned, first of all, the fishbone diagram and the Ishikawa diagram, right? So is there any other quality control methods that we can, because there are various steps for in the production industry or the manufacturing industry to control the quality.
Yes, there are.
So what about the 7 Qs? The seven steps.
Yes, yes. So obviously that's something very much industry oriented. Like the 7 Qs of quality.
Yes.
I think those are, I need to remember, but yes, I will tell that it's generally used in the industry more than for a person. Now today I had been focusing on for personal development and how you can actually energize yourself to innovate. So there are two things here right now. One is the research lab that we work on, and next we have the production and engineering team. So in the research work, what we do, we formulate, we are like we are the ones who make the khayali pulao. So we work on the philosophies and we develop something that is called model. Yes. So we work on something and we make a exhibition model, a demonstrable model. And this demonstrable model goes to the production department and the engineering department. Now it's the job for the engineering department to actually make that demo thing into a real life product. So I'll give you an example. The original version of phone, I'm pretty sure, isn't so rugged as this one. I think many people will remember that Nokia 330 or something. You can show that
3310. So 3310.
Yeah,
That's the model.
You can actually show that to trees and the fruits will fall and that mobile will not break. So that's kind of thing that the engineering department and the quality department will do. The research department generally will actually formulate that, yes, this material can be used, this can be the way, and the trial and error part now goes to the engineering department. So today I had been focusing on the research and philosophical in a nascent research in that
Yeah.
aspect. So that
in
is
which-
why I did not mention the 7 Qs. Like, of course, the 7 Qs is a very important part of a production design. Like normally what happens in a production design, our product comes to, so goes to one stage, then it goes to the, before going to another stage, it again faces another set of quality people. And
Right.
generally the quality department guys, people hate them.
Right.
They come up and say random comments, and they try to make things that say that this thing won't work. So obviously everyone hates them, but they are the most crucial things, the crucial and important people when we plan and plan to launch a product in the market. So they have to be there. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. So participants, do you have any query? Ma'am is okay to answer. I think that's a no, as I don't think so. We are getting any questions.
Okay.
So ma'am, with your permission, I would like to conclude this session.
Yes.
And thank you very much for your inspiring and wonderful lecture that you have given today. The experience, the topics that you have shared, it's definitely inspiring, ma'am. It's definitely inspiring. And from GKCM, we'd like to present you a digital memento as a token of gesture and appreciation from our end. So if you permit us, ma'am, should I share that to all of you?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay.
So this
So-
is a like I wanted to tell something. Muha ma'am had introduced me talking about great heroes, morals, and ethics, and I don't know whether I am even 0.1% capable of being that, but it's really a big honor for everyone being here and people participating, they're listening.
Actually, ma'am, we are honored. We are
Yeah,
honored.
I would
And
be
this is
very
a digital
happy
memento.
if everyone finds the inspiration to innovate. That's the way we move forward. That's how evolution happens.
And ma'am, before conclude, I'd like to say, actually, I want to apologize because in the beginning there was some technical glitch, and
Yeah, that's something that
and
will
after some
happen,
intervals,
obviously.
actually, after some intervals, there were some network issues. Then because of that, we were having some session breakups. That's what all the time the session is live. The whole system is now recording messages showing up. So I'm really sorry for that.
No, no, definitely, please don't be, because then again we understand that problems might come, and then sir had found some way to innovate and solve that problem. So
I tried my best, but still, and really it's a great session with you, ma'am. And this digital memento is for you, and we will send it to you at your email, ma'am.
yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Participants, so today we hereby concluding our session. So we'll meet in our next session. Thank you. Good night. Myself, Sandipan Shah, signing off from this session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
So participants, I would like to remind all of you that please fill out the feedback form that is already shared at the chat box. Please don't miss the filling. Don't miss the feedback form. Thank you. And if you have completed the filling out the feedback form, you are permitted to leave. participants. Thank you and good night. Stay well.